"You're done," Margaret snaps, firing Hannah for giving Tom, a homeless vet, a free haircut. But 30 minutes later, the mayor arrives, honoring her kindness. Hannah's story in Cedar Hollow proves a single act of compassion can change lives, spark hope, and unite a community. Welcome to Thankful Tales. Together we make their courage live beyond memory. The mist hangs low over Cedar Hollow, a small Midwest town waking up under a soft dawn. Sparrows chirp on cobblestone streets, their song mixing with the warm smell of fresh bread from the corner bakery. Hannah, a 28-year-old hairdresser, walks the sidewalk, her thin jacket fluttering in the crisp October breeze, her brown hair's tied back, showing off a smile that lights up Maple Glow Salon, where half the town comes to get a trim and swap stories. But behind that smile, there's a shadow. At 19, Hannah's family kicked her out for skipping college to chase her dream of cutting hair. Those nights sleeping in her car, the cold sinking into her bones there still with her. A stranger once handed her a warm loaf of bread. And that moment, it shaped who she is today. This morning, Hannah stops at Joe's coffee stand, where the rich scent of roasted beans fills the chilly air, hands in her pockets. She's in line when her eyes catch a figure huddled on a nearby bench. It's Tom, a homeless vet, clutching a worn backpack, his tangled hair and scruffy beard hiding a sun-weathered face, his old army jackets stained. But his eyes, they still carry a spark of pride from days standing tall in battle. Folks in Cedar Hollow know Tom, but most avoid him, like he's a reminder of things they'd rather forget. "Hey," Tom, Hannah calls out, her voice bright, like they're old friends. He looks up, startled, his eyes wary. "Coffee, my treat." She grins, not waiting for a no. Tom shakes his head, his voice rough. "You don't have to." "Hannah, I'm fine." But she just laughs, turning to Joe. "2 coffees. One for my veteran friend here." A steaming cup lands in Tom's hands, the warmth spreading through his calloused fingers. He takes a sip, and a faint smile tugs at his lips. Like that small gesture melts a bit of his loneliness. They walk toward Maple Glow Salon, a few blocks away, talking as they go. Hannah asks about his army days, and Tom opens up, his voice quiet but proud, sharing stories of marching under starlit skies. At the salon, the little bell jingles as Hannah opens the door. She glances at Tom, hesitating outside, and says, "Tom, you free this afternoon? Come in, I'll cut your hair." On the house, he freezes, shaking his head. "You've done enough." "Hannah," but her eyes sparkle with determination. "I want you looking like a Hollywood star." "Tom." "Deal." Tom chuckles, his first real smile of the day, and nods. Hannah leads him inside, ignoring the cautious glances from a couple of customers. Clara, an elderly widow with silver hair, watches quietly from the corner. A flicker of worry crosses Hannah's mind. Margaret, the salon's owner, doesn't like unprofitable gestures, but she pushes it aside, focusing on Tom, who's starting to sit a little straighter, like he's remembering who he used to be. The afternoon sun fades, slipping through the glass of Maple Glow Salon, casting light on scattered hair clippings on the floor. Hannah ties an apron around Tom's neck, the fabric rustling softly, blending with the faint scent of shampoo. She picks up her scissors, snipping Tom's tangled hair with steady, gentle hands. Tom sits still, his calloused fingers gripping his worn backpack like it's all he's got left. "Relax." "Tom," Hannah says, her voice soft. "I promise I won't turn you into a poodle." Tom lets out a quiet chuckle, like a breeze through a cracked window, just enough to warm the salon's air. Clara, the silver-haired widow in the corner, watches quietly, her cloudy eyes, dimmed by age, brighten as Hannah chats with Tom about his army days. "Ever seen a desert?" Hannah asks, her scissors moving rhythmically. Tom nods, his voice low. Golden sand for miles, hot as hell. But the night sky, it'd break your heart. Hannah smiles, but her chest tightens. She sees herself in Tom those lonely days when the world turned its back, in his backpack. A glint of an old silver medal peeks out. He quickly tucks it away, guarding his secrets in silence. The salon door swings open, the bell jangling sharply. Margaret, the owner, strides in, her high heels clacking on the wood floor. In her mid-40s, her eyes are sharp as knives, obsessed with profit since her last salon went under. She glances at Tom, then Hannah, her lips a thin line. Hannah. "What are you doing?" Her voice cuts through the warmth like ice. A few customers look up, their eyes curious. Some annoyed at seeing Tom in the chair, helping Tom. "Ma'am," Hannah replies, scissors still in hand, her heart racing. "It's on me. I'll cover it from my pay." Margaret scoffs, a sound like glass on stone. "Free. This is a salon, not a charity? You think I built Maple Glow for people like him?" She points at Tom, her voice dripping with disdain. Tom lowers his head, clutching his backpack, like he wants to disappear. Hannah's heart twists, a sharp sting, but she presses her lips together, hiding her hurt for Tom's sake. I invited him. "Ma'am." "My choice," she says, calm but firm. "You're done." "Then," Margaret snaps, her voice echoing through the salon, "pack your things and get out." The room falls silent, heavy and suffocating. Clara shakes her head, her eyes disappointed, her hands gripping the towel on her lap. Hannah freezes, the floor crumbling beneath her. She looks at Tom, his eyes full of guilt, and forces a reassuring smile, though her heart aches. Quietly, she sweeps the hair off the floor, each brushstroke steady as her heartbeat. In her mind, her dream of opening her own salon burns bright. But now, it feels farther than ever. Outside the salon, Clara stands, quietly pulling out her phone, her eyes fierce with resolve. The silence in Maple Glow salon is heavy, suffocating. After Margaret fires Hannah, her broom glides across the wooden floor, steady like a heartbeat. But each sweep drags out her pain. She keeps her head down, hiding red-rimmed eyes, not wanting Tom to see her break. Tom sits frozen, gripping his backpack, guilt clouding his face. "Hannah." "I'm sorry," he whispers, his voice rough like the wind in the park where he sleeps. Hannah forces a smile, shaking her head. "Tom, you deserve this. Don't worry." But inside, her dream of opening her own salon feels like it's fading with the afternoon sun. Outside, whispers stir. Clara, the silver-haired widow, left the salon moments after the scene, her eyes fierce, with her old phone. She calls the mayor's office, her voice trembling but firm. "You need to know this. A young woman fired for helping a veteran." Word spreads like wildfire across Cedar Hollow's dry fields. Townsfolk, from the baker to veterans at the coffee shop, murmur about Hannah's kindness and Margaret's cruelty. 30 minutes later, the salon door bursts open, the bell jangling like a drum roll. Mayor Ellis, a tall man with salt and pepper hair, steps in, a crowd of townsfolk behind him. Some hold makeshift signs, support veterans and kindness wins. Margaret rushes forward, her smile forced. "Mr. Mayor, what an honor." But Ellis brushes past, his eyes on Hannah. "Miss Hannah," he says, his voice ringing like it's a ceremony. "Were you fired for giving Tom a free haircut?" Hannah, still holding the broom, looks up, a flicker of panic in her eyes. She glances at Margaret, who shakes her head. But Hannah chooses truth. "Yes." "Sir, I just wanted to help Tom," she says, her voice soft but clear. The crowd murmurs, some nodding in approval. Ellis smiles, pulling a framed certificate and a thick white envelope from his coat. "For your kindness, Cedar Hollow honors you. This certificate is from our community, and this gift, it's to help you keep going." Hannah takes the certificate, her heart blooming. But her eyes find Tom. He stands, his fresh haircut neat, his gaze brighter than ever. "Hannah, "You gave me more than a haircut," he says, his voice shaky. The crowd erupts in applause, the sound crashing like waves on a shore. Clara, in the middle, wipes tears, thinking of her son, a veteran who never came home. Margaret stands pale, silent, realizing her mistake but unable to speak. Hannah clutches the certificate, warmth spreading through her, though a quiet worry lingers. What happens to Tom tomorrow? She looks at the crowd, at Cedar Hollow's kind eyes, and for the first time, she feels the strength of community. But deep down, she knows her journey's just beginning. The sunset bathes Cedar Hollow in a warm orange glow, lighting up the new sign above Beacon Salon. Hannah stands there, her fingers tracing her name carved in wood. Just months ago, she was sweeping hair off Maple Glow's floor, her heart heavy after Margaret fired her. Now, with the mayor's gift, she's turned her dream into reality. Beacon Salon isn't just a place for haircuts, it's a spark of hope, with a corner dedicated to free cuts for veterans and the homeless. The faint scent of shampoo mixes with laughter, filling the space like a family gathering. Customers from Maple Glow flock to Hannah, drawn not just by her skill, but by her story, which has spread through Cedar Hollow like wildfire. Margaret, with her cold eyes and obsession with profit, watches her salon empty out, empty chairs. A silent bell, they're a reminder that selfishness cost her everything. She shuts Maple Glow for good, learning too late the value of kindness. Meanwhile, Hannah opens a second salon, her income steady. But she still quietly helps folks like Tom. At the Veterans Day ceremony, Cedar Hollow gathers in the town park, American flags waving, a trumpet's notes ringing out. Tom, now working at a local woodshop, steps to the podium in an old but neat suit. His hair, still shaped by Hannah's scissors, shines under the lights, his eyes brighter than ever. "Hannah didn't just give me a haircut," he says, voice trembling. "She gave me the courage to start over." The crowd claps. Clara wipes tears. Thinking of her son, Hannah, in the audience, feels her heart bloom but lowers her head, letting Tom have the moment. Weeks later, Hannah gets a handwritten letter from Tom, his words messy but heartfelt. "Hannah, because of you, I'm not a shadow anymore. Thank you for seeing me." She reads it outside Beacon Salon, remembering those cold nights in her car, when a stranger's loaf of bread changed her. She sees now that kindness, however small, spreads like a breeze through Cedar Hollow's cobblestone streets, igniting hope in a whole community. Hannah looks up at the sky, stars beginning to twinkle, and smiles. Her journey isn't just about a salon, it's about keeping the flame of kindness burning. Hannah and Tom's story shows us kindness can change lives. Share your own moment of kindness in the comments. Like, subscribe, and let's spread inspiring stories from Cedar Hollow. Kindness wins veterans.